Hey there, and welcome back to ToyMatt. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic weapons in movie history and one of the tiniest accessories in the Kenner Star Wars line, the telescoping lightsaber. It might just look like a colorful little plastic stick, but it has a real-world origin that goes back decades before Star Wars ever hit theaters. Let's follow the path from photography gear to movie magic to toy box legend. It all started with a piece of photography equipment from the 1930s, the Graflex flash handle. Originally made to attach to large format cameras, the Graflex handle held flashbulbs for lighting shots. It had a sturdy chrome-plated body, a prominent clamp, and those signature side ports, pure functional design. But it had one more feature. It looked like it belonged in a sci-fi universe. Fast forward to 1976, George Lucas and the Star Wars prop team were working with a tight budget, and they had to kitbash their props, using found objects and modifying them to look like their futuristic weapons. When they needed a weapon for Luke Skywalker, production designer Roger Christian had a vision, something that felt old, heavy, and mystical, like Excalibur in space. He found a Graflex flash handle in the camera shop and slapped a few pieces of rubber, a bubble strip from a calculator, and a D-ring to the bottom, and that was it. The very first lightsaber was born. And you know what? They didn't change the shape much at all. It's basically a Graflex with a few modifications. The prop team knew that sometimes reality was already perfect. When Kenner got the license to create the Star Wars action figures, they were tasked with bringing the lightsaber to 3 3/4 inch scale. And in 1978, they came up with a creative and slightly clunky solution. The first Luke, Vader, and Obi-Wan figures came with a double telescoping lightsaber. A thin inner blade slid out from a thicker outer tube. The whole thing was housed inside the figure's forearm, and you could push it out with a tiny thumb lever on the figure's wrist. It wasn't elegant, and it wasn't durable, but it worked. And for kids in the late 70s, this was the only way to put a lightsaber into your hero's hand. But the design was too fragile and expensive to produce. So Kenner quickly replaced it with a single telescoping version, one solid piece that slid out of the arm. So let's break it down. 1930s, the Graflex flash handle is designed for photographers. 1976, it's transformed into Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in A New Hope. 1978, Kenner miniaturizes it into the telescoping lightsaber. Today, the original accessory is a highly sought-after collector's item, and the lightsaber remains one of the most iconic weapons in pop culture. What started as a tool to help take photographs became a symbol of hope, heroism, and childhood imagination. If you ever got one of those early double telescoping lightsabers in your collection, hang on to it. They're rare, they're fragile, and they represent a wild collision of practicality and fantasy. It's a great reminder that the world of Star Wars has always lived in this perfect space where real-world history and futuristic storytelling collide. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the telescoping lightsaber and its roots in the real world, give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments. What vintage Star Wars weapon should I cover next? Until next time, may your toys never warp and your sabers always extend. Take it to the ToyMatt.